Welcome to another episode of the Inner Space podcast. You're joined by me, Nisha, your host, and today I'm also joined by Teena, who is the founder of Ungaslighted. It's an online platform and digital sanctuary for women where they walk alongside you, offering tools, guidance, and support for women and the things that you need to thrive. In this episode, we're talking about something that so many women experience but don't always recognize in themselves: self-abandonment. The subtle ways in which we override our own needs, second-guess ourselves, and prioritize being liked or accepted over being honest and true to who we are. This is a big part of why so many women struggle with self-trust, their identity, and feeling grounded in their own decisions, being able to trust themselves. So today we're exploring where these patterns begin, how they show up in everyday life, and what it actually looks like to start choosing yourself in a real, aligned way. As you're listening to this episode, I'd invite you to take a moment to reflect on this question. Where in your life are you saying yes when really you mean no, or you want to be saying no? Hi Teena, it's so nice to see you again and have you back on the show. How have you been?
Hi Nisha, thank you. Thank you for inviting me again. I've been good. We have just launched something very exciting. It's called Woman to Woman, and it's a safe, judgmental free inbox where you can write about what's on your mind and you can get a thoughtful, personal reply. So, unlike AI chats, only a real person reads your email. And it's basically a safe, private space to vent. Uh, it can also be used as an accountability partner for ADHD brains. And you can use it in between therapy or after therapy. You want some kind of support system, you can use us. Uh, that's it. So I'm really excited to bring forward this new product. So yeah, let's get into the podcast.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay.
Congratulations. Because I know that
Thanks.
when we last we had you on the first season and you were
Uh,
sort of putting it all together. So it's so wonderful to see that you've created this incredible thing. And I love what you say that it's not AI, it's real
uh,
women answering this. It's like you say, I think
right.
the service is called Woman to Woman, and I love that. I think that's so important and it's really needed by so many women. So this is live now, and what I'll do is I'll put the link for anybody who's interested in the show notes below as well, so they can get in touch with you as well.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Of course. And this is available to women worldwide or in certain parts of the
Yes,
world?
it's available to women all across the world.
Oh, amazing. I love that. I love
But
that. So, like you say, let's get into this episode and why women override themselves, why and
absolutely.
how we abandon our own needs. Um, so let's start with what self-abandonment looks like in everyday life, because I think it's something that a lot of women are sort of conditioned into from a young age, but they don't really see it in themselves.
Right.
So it can be things like saying yes when you mean no,
Mm-hmm.
or over-explaining, over-justifying, over-giving, people-pleasing. And I think as well,
Yeah,
yeah, prioritizing other
yeah,
people's needs and wants over what you want for yourself, right? And that kind of internal harmony, um,
right.
and self-honesty as well.
Yeah, and women are usually considered like the default fixer, helper, caretaker.
Mm,
Like that's your responsibility. Like that's sort of understood that a woman will take care of certain things. So
yes.
even if you don't want to do something, you're like guilted into doing it, or it's told that it's your duty. So you
Mm,
end up doing it anyway. Yeah, that is also, I think, one of the classic ways in which patriarchy forces women to abandon themselves.
yeah.
And also the unpaid emotional labor. I think that's one of the, at home, at work, like we take care of all the planning of, you know, gifting or, organizing. All these invisible tasks are usually taken care of by women. So this is also a form of abandonment, because uh, like nobody actually pays attention to that. Like it's some it's a free work expected from women. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is also, I feel, one of the ways we abandon ourselves.
Yeah, and we're taught, and I know we touched on this a little bit in the first episode we did together, but around women being the good girl, be the good girl,
Yeah.
be the kind one, always say yes, don't say no, don't inconvenience people by having an
Mhm.
opinion or saying no. It's quicker just to get it done, right? So we
Right.
minimize
Yeah.
ourselves, even if we're overriding our own feelings and emotions, and what we want. And I think this is something that begins very early on.
Mm.
This pattern begins, it's early conditioning, like I say,
Right.
around being good, being easy, being liked. I'd even go so far as to say, like, being the cool girl, being the fun girl, the sexy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just keep going, you know?
Being a tomboy or something, we
Yeah,
grew up to be tomboys, or uh, I have heard parents saying, "Oh, I raised my daughter like my son," as if it's something amazing. So all
yeah,
this, yeah. I mean, we wanted to be tomboys or cool girls because we have seen the disrespect men give to women who are like, like our mothers or people who are feminine. So we try to, I think we're trying to protect ourselves by being like, oh, I'm not like them. I'm
yeah.
different. So that will protect me from the disrespect or something. But
Mm,
unfortunately, after an age, you will realize no matter what you do, if they want to disrespect, they'll disrespect you if you're a
yes,
woman. So
yeah.
yeah, nothing
So
will protect you. So
to do your own thing anyway, right? Say the
yeah,
things, have
yeah,
your opinions,
yeah,
do what is right by you. Absolutely.
right.
Because we know that we can't control what other people think and feel and say about us, right? It's
Exactly,
even
exactly.
if we, and I know so many women have done this, where trying to control people's perception of
Hmm.
us, right? If I don't
Right.
say this, they might like me. If I wear this, they'll like me more. If I do this, and it becomes very performative for their approval,
Hmm.
but inside
Right, right.
it creates such a huge gap and emptiness within that woman, that, well, I'm doing all these things, but
Exactly.
it's not feeling right. I'm not being the person I know I want to be. There is a
Right.
disconnect in that.
Even today, women have a problem saying the word "I'm a feminist." They'll
Mm,
they look at the audience and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not that kind of feminist," or "I'm not an angry feminist," or
yeah,
I mean, there is only one kind of feminist. So uh, women are scared to say that they don't see themselves as secondary. So, which is a very sad thing.
mm,
Standing up for yourself, standing up for your rights, and not considering yourself secondary to any human is such a important what is it aspect of self-respect. And if you don't have that, that is so sad. And again, I don't think self-abandonment is a personal failure. It's a systematic failure. You were taught. You fear the disapproval, or you want to be nice, or you want to be loved. So yeah, I mean, it's not a personal failing, but I hope more and more women can see through that.
yeah. And what you say about feminism as well, I think is really important, because there is this
Right.
kind of these kind of two polarities that I see, where women saying, "Oh yeah, but
Mhm.
I'm not that kind of feminist," like, and it's very much geared up to the patriarchy, and like, "Oh yeah, I'm a
Right.
feminist, like I'm very feminine in my views and this and that." Oh, but I'm not going to offend anybody, right? And then we
Yeah.
have the stereotype of like these very aggressive women who are like bra burning and trying to fight the
Right.
and there are certain connotations with both of these polarities, but actually, being a feminist is wanting equality. It's not wanting more than what men have,
Yeah.
it's wanting the
Yeah.
same, right? And I've had
Right.
so many conversations recently with women, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you're such a feminist, Nisha. Why?" And I have to explain to them, no, no, I just want equal. I say that you work, your husband works,
You're right.
and you do this, he does that. And they'll say, yeah. I say, so you're a feminist. You live in an equal relationship. And I say to them,
Exactly.
if you weren't okay with things being equal and you had less, would that be okay? And they say, no, 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 definitely not okay with that. Then you're wanting
Exactly.
equality, that makes you a feminist. Even your husband can be a feminist if he wants the same level of equality for you in the relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
huge like revelation that they're like, oh, I am. And it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't then become this stereotypical, like, oh, no, 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 this is like this
Yeah.
whole women's agenda and it's really toxic. And no, feminism is wanting the same as men. It's a gender equality, not more,
Yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. And also, more than equality, I believe in equity, as in, like, for
Mm,
years we were denied so many things. So there is nothing wrong if someone provides us a push, or some edge, or some what is it, support,
Yeah.
more than men. That is not
Mm,
wrong, because for
mm,
generations we were not given that. Like,
mm.
for example, women started inheriting uh, from their own parents very recently. Uh,
Yes.
like parents usually give all their property to their sons, or their business was overtaken by a son. So, I mean, if women are given, say, a certain reservation, or some government schemes are there to uplift them, suddenly men will come and say, oh, this is not equality, this is, I mean, you should also understand uh, you should also look at it from a broader perspective.
Okay. So going back to this pattern then of the self-abandonment, this
Mm,
emotional, I guess the need to be emotionally validated and that lack of space to be able to express that I want this and it's
mm,
safe. I mean, it's you spoke about the patriarchy, but it also there is this mirroring in between worlds, right? Of the external world and the internal world, particularly with family and the family structure. And that then gets mirrored, almost like those Russian Matryoshka dolls, right? It gets mirrored and it
right,
gets further in and further in and smaller, and it becomes a reflection of a woman's internal world as well. And that
right.
I suppose learning that that connection comes at the cost of being authentic. That if you want to be
Mm,
liked, if you want this, this, and this, you know, these
right.
basic tenets of respect, of being
Yeah.
valued, of being appreciated, of having a voice and being heard and understood, that shouldn't come at a cost to anything else, but it's inflected in
Right.
that way that a woman then believes, well, in order for me to get these things, I have to give something. There is a cost. Maybe it's my authenticity, or maybe it's my
Mm,
honesty, that if I want to be liked, maybe I can't be honest. I can't have
right.
opinions. So don't say anything, just be quiet, be very palatable. And what is the phrase? Be seen and not heard, because people
Right.
will like you, and that need for acceptance and validation feeds into that, in that sort of underhand, very shadow way.
Sure. And women are, I think, for the most part, not allowed to be their own, you know, not allowed to develop their own personality. Like, that's why women are married, pressured to marry young, so that they can adjust better. Or, they'll just follow their husband's career. Or, I mean, if he's working somewhere, usually women will resign their job and follow the husband. Or, I mean, everything is accordance to a man. Or even the whole marriage system, like, you go to your in-laws house. Yeah, so all these are different forms of self-abandonment. And from childhood, somewhere, even if they don't say it loud, that a son is valued more in some way. They may not say it out loud, but it could be in small things, like how their opinions are valued, and uh, how they are encouraged. Maybe you won't get the same opportunities. So, all these, like, from very young age, your opinions are not taken into consideration. You're constantly gaslighted, like, oh, you're overreacting. It's not that bad. Or so after a point, you start doubting yourself. Okay, maybe I'm too much. Maybe I'm overreacting. Something is wrong with me. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose it then begs the question why women struggle to choose themselves, right? Because there is a fear of rejection, of conflict, of
Hmm.
being misunderstood. And I think then that well, going back to that structure that we spoke about, the identity of a woman that gets tied to being needed or accommodated or be selfless so that
Right.
you are accepted in whether it's a family circle or friends or work or whichever one it is, right? Because everything is relational, so it stems from the relationship we have with ourselves and that ripple impact into lots of different circles and situations that we find ourselves in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even religion, or if you look at pop culture, any movie that you watch, or everywhere, the narratives are led by men, and it's according to their convenience, women will act. So we grew up watching all this, or we think, okay, that's the ideal life, or maybe that's what I should do. That's what a successful life is. We get an idea of life from people around us or
Yeah.
people who influence us. So, I mean, it's only natural that our mothers have done it, our grandmothers have done it. So we think, okay, this is how life is. We should do it. There is nothing wrong in that. That's the normal.
Right.
And
And
we keep
that's
on,
the
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Sorry, go on.
yeah, that's it. I mean, and we keep on repeating those patterns. We
Mm,
don't see anything wrong in that. Only when you get out of, it's like a cult like behavior. Only when you get out of a cult
mm,
can you see, oh my God, so many dysfunctions are there. When you are
yeah.
in the cult, you are like, okay, that's the norm. So I
And then
think
we
that's one of
see
the reasons why, yeah,
and then we see the small signals, right? That oh, it's fine, just do it
right,
with this minimization, right? Or just ignore
exactly.
it, just carry on, don't say anything, right? I think
Yeah.
from the outside, it looks like a um, oh, just carry on, don't let it bother you, just rise above it. It seems like there's an air of like sort of nobility around it, but
Hmm.
actually, it can also be very easily disguised under the cover of being minimized. Don't say anything, don't upset anybody,
Yeah.
right? And
That's
we have
what
to,
good people do. And women are supposed to hold the family together. I mean, we have
yes,
all these narratives, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, a woman should hold a family together. They should make sure that everyone is taken care of. So, yeah, we abandon ourselves
Yeah.
to take care of everyone else.
Yeah, yeah. Although it's nice to see that changing and these narratives are being questioned.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think on that note, there is a discomfort. There is a
Mm,
guilt that comes up because guilt is an emotion that it's very good at keeping us tracked onto living in our sense of identity, our own
mm,
internal structure, our sense of self. So when we
right.
do something that is outside of our normal conditionings or patterns or beliefs,
Mm,
guilt can come in as an emotion to make us feel bad, as in to make us feel guilty that we're doing something for ourselves because it's unfamiliar, not because it's
right.
wrong or bad, but it's different. And our nervous system it reads anything that is unfamiliar as being unsafe.
Right.
But actually, what is unfamiliar can be very healthy. It's
Mm,
just unknown to us because we've never done it before.
exactly. And
Right.
also, there is an aspect of like emotional blackmail, especially in the Desi families. Like, if a woman choose to do something of her liking, like they want to get married to someone they love or choose a
Mm,
career, suddenly all parents will start the drama. Oh, we have raised you this much. You
mm,
don't, I mean, you don't want us anymore, or you're so ungrateful, this, that. So that
yes.
emotionally, women are manipulated so much.
Mm, yeah.
And we fall for that also. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, again, but if there isn't that, and I did this brilliant episode with a colleague a few weeks ago where we spoke about when you don't have anybody to mirror back to you the structure and
mm,
the beliefs and conditionings that you've lived in, you'll never question it because
exactly.
it's not something to be questioned, especially if everybody else is telling you that a red highlighter is blue, you're going to
Mm,
call it blue as well. It's only when you wake up to the realization that actually this isn't blue
mm,
and then ensues like I was talking about the unsafe and it feels
right.
unfamiliar, it's just because you're going against what is different. And there is a level of unsafety within that. But you might
Hmm.
be the one that's saying, actually, this is the red highlighter is red and it's not blue.
Yeah,
Right.
that is also another thing. Like if a woman decides to step out of line, I mean, the line that society has drawn, you will be punished for that, and that too very publicly, so that it serves as a lesson for other women. That is also there. So that punishment also is something women are scared of, like extreme backlash. Like for example, I think in the UK, Meghan Markle receives more hate than Prince Andrew.
Oh, of
All
course.
she did was setting boundaries. Like she didn't want to get involved with whatever she was dealing with. She keeps on getting hate even today. I mean, so women are under a microscope all the time. They are judged, evaluated, and people are waiting for a woman to make a mistake so that they can just jump on her.
Right. And
So
especially in the public eye where things are very
yeah, yeah, yeah,
exaggerated, right? But
exactly.
I suppose what I see with a lot of in my field of work is there is a big fear of what if I step over the line? What if I do something different? But what
Mm,
I would also say is that it doesn't always have to be that scary. A lot of when we grow up with certain fears and insecurities around things, those are the
Mm,
defense mechanisms that keep us safe, right? They kind of keep us locked in at any given moment to don't do that
mm,
because something bad will happen. But
mm.
also, it's not always as bad as we think it is, right? The fear isn't,
Exactly.
the fear itself keeps us trapped and stuck,
Mm,
where that's not always the repercussions of certain things. I've worked with some clients where they thought something really terrible was going to happen when they decided to take a different path. And
mm.
we've spoken about it and said, actually, you know what? It wasn't as scary as I thought. Something good came out of it instead. So,
Exactly.
yes, absolutely. In some cultures and situations, women are vilified for it, but also
Mm.
some situations it's not that bad either. And it's about gauging, using
Yeah.
discernment as to if I am really open about this, where is it going to take me? What this is going to look like?
Mm,
Some families, they're not able to have these conversations. And
mm,
so it's about, well, if we know that we're not going to be met at the level and place that we need to be met, how do we navigate that? We use a different map to navigate a
mm.
different terrain.
Right.
Mm,
Um,
yeah. So, what becomes the cost of overriding ourselves, right? There is, I think, certainly a resentment towards ourselves and other people.
of
Um,
course. I mean,
the emotional
if you
disconnection.
continuously, yeah, not, take care of your needs, of course,
Mm,
you will become resentful
yeah.
at some point. So, yeah, and also the lack of self trust that you develop. You no longer can hear your own voice, as in what you like, what you want. You stop believing in yourself. You will never achieve, I mean, you will never try to achieve your dreams because you don't believe in yourself anymore. And you don't think you can, or you think you're being very ambitious, or you're doing something highly unattainable. So, or, I mean, you will never reach your potential or live life in your terms. So that's the biggest cost,
Yeah.
I mean, of abandoning yourself and overriding it. Okay, so and also I think health wise, I mean, women, I have always seen this, that women don't take care of their health. That's the most common self abandonment that you can see around. Like, how many of them go for annual checkups? I don't know. In India, we can see that women don't eat protein enough. Like, they just eat plain carbs, probably to save money, or they'll save it for their children or their husband. So, be it food, nutrition, their health. My own aunt, I know the story where she was diagnosed with stage 3 or stage 2 breast cancer. She had actually noticed this lump a few months ago, and she waited for a few months because her children's exams were going on. So she waited, and she had to go through all this radiation and surgery because she waited. So, I mean, the women not taking care of themselves, I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, is, I mean, you will have to pay a price in terms of your lower quality of life, in terms of poor health. And at that time, there will be nobody to take care of you. You will have to struggle yourself. I mean, you will be alone. So,
Absolutely. And I think, become
mm,
a martyr to the cause, right? We can only give from a full cup, right? We give from an empty
yeah,
cup,
yeah,
nothing to give. And it's that analogy that, when you're in an aeroplane and they say in the
mm,
safety announcement that the oxygen mask drops, put your own on first.
exactly.
A lot of this is disguised as being selfish, that a woman is
Mm,
selfish for prioritizing herself. She can't do things at full capacity when she
yeah.
isn't regulated enough physically and emotionally herself. She cannot support and do things in a way that is healthy and congruent with who she is if she's constantly prioritizing other people when she needs to take a break, when she needs to rest.
Yeah. And every human being's first priority should be themselves. Like,
Mm,
your primary responsibility is to take care of yourself.
yeah,
Everything else comes later, and nobody else is going to do that for you. I mean,
right.
all these romance novels or whatever,
Yeah.
they sell women this idea that, okay, some man will come and take care of you. That's so
Mm,
wrong. So you don't take care of yourself, or you abandon yourself, somebody else will come and save you.
yeah.
I mean, that's not how real life works, and nobody is going to do that for you. Your
No.
primary responsibility is to take care of yourself. So I think
Right.
that's something we should remind ourselves daily.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you say about the romance novels, right? This Prince Charming comes along,
Yeah,
he'll take care of you. But
yeah.
actually, when a woman is constantly geared up to wanting to appease other people, she's going to appease him
Hmm.
instead. He's, you know,
Exactly.
and it's this dynamic of he might ask her, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" She says, "No, no, no, I'm fine. I don't have any needs. Let
Mhm.
me serve you. Let me do more for you because
Yeah,
through that
yeah.
comes the approval and the validation." So again, she's the
Hmm.
one that is
That is
left behind, her needs are never met. And this is not selfish, putting yourself first. And I heard a
Hmm.
wonderful saying, something along the lines of it's when you prioritize your desires and wants over other people's needs versus prioritizing other people's wants over your needs,
Hmm.
right? So there's this balance between what is a need and what is a want.
What a one.
Right. And a want is
Right.
as a luxury item, but a need is
Hmm.
essential, right? And
Hmm.
asking yourself, when in these situations am I giving up what I need for what somebody else wants versus what somebody else
Right.
wants and what I need? It's not selfish. It's
Yeah, that's
important
so
that we do
beautifully
this.
said. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
And you said something really important as well about this. I think a lot of women feel stuck in this gap, right, of needing this kind of validation, this approval, but it's not coming from anywhere,
hmm.
and trusting
Yeah.
ourselves. And this is a lot of the work
Right.
that I do is building that self-trust. If you never had the ability to trust yourself, where is it going to come from?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I do this in my work where we
Exactly.
build what that looks like because day to day we trust ourselves to keep ourselves safe, to keep ourselves
Hmm.
alive. But if I was to ask a woman like, you have this dream, go off and do it. She'll say, no, 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 I can't do it. I
Hmm.
don't trust myself enough. We will build that
Yeah.
capacity in on an emotional level, physical and nervous system level, because that's what we need to fill these gaps. And like you said earlier, no
Hmm.
one's going to do the work for you. No one's going to look after you. We have to do it ourselves. Right.
Right.
And
And
from
one
that,
more point I like to
mm,
add is over apologizing is something I've seen women do a lot. Like just
yeah.
saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," for things there is no need to say sorry for. And also it's a classic example of people coming out of toxic relationships. They
Mm.
always say a lot of sorries. I'm sorry. So I think that's something you can change and easily change and notice and change. Like every time you catch yourself saying sorry unnecessarily, just stop. I mean, think for a minute. If the situation does not demand a sorry, do not say a sorry. Yeah.
I can see
I
that
just
annoys you,
wanted to add
Tina.
that point.
I can see it's your pet peeve.
No, I used to do that a lot.
Ah.
And that's something I changed in myself.
Mm. And you're glad that you did?
Oh, of course. I remember once I was sitting on a flight and I was not feeling well. I had the middle seat, and there was a
Mm.
lady on the aisle, and I started apologizing to her. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sick. I have to use the washroom, so
Mm.
I have to go. She's like, "Why are you saying sorry?" I think
Mm.
she played a very important role in that journey. She told me, "Girl, you don't have to say sorry. You just tell me when you have to go. I'll move." I'm
Oh,
like, "Okay, thanks."
yeah. But it's a nice experience to have that, especially by another woman to say to you, like,
Right, right.
you
Yeah,
can't apologize
yeah,
for being ill. It's not in your control. It's not intentional, right? That's
right.
really, really
Yeah,
important. Yeah.
yeah,
So what you
yeah.
say then about the cost of it is that, like you said, you're not following your dreams. There's a loss of, I guess, clarity about you, what you want in
Yeah,
your life, right? The
exactly.
feelings of want and desire that I want this for myself. I don't, and it's buried. It's within every woman, but it's buried under these layers of you, what you should be doing, the conditioning, the patterns, the beliefs, the expectations,
Hmm.
right? When we lift
Hmm.
all of that off and we pull all of that away, underneath is what a
Hmm.
woman truly desires for herself, whether it is being a staying at home mum, or whether it is having a, a blossoming career, or whatever that looks like,
Right. Yeah.
but not to her detriment.
And hmm, all of us humans have a lot of needs. It's not just okay. We all have needs for certain basic things: air, food, water, clothing, and then we
Mm,
have intellectual needs, cognitive needs. I mean, we all have a need to become the best version of ourselves. Like we have I think it's called self-actualization need or something. I'm not sure. We
Yeah.
all have that desire to, fulfill our potential, and most women are not doing it. I mean, at least from the previous generation,
Yeah.
never had the chance to do it,
Yeah.
which is quite sad. But yeah,
Right. And it's true, every woman has the potential for self-actualization. Every person does. I know we're talking a lot about women here, but even men
yeah,
in their own minds and identity and sense of
exactly.
self, everyone has the potential for it. It's around how do we find out what that looks like for us as individuals? What do we need in order for that
Mm,
self-actualization to happen, to come to fruition? And trusting yourself is one of the biggest things that we can do in this, is not looking externally for
right,
validation and that, oh, well, she did this and now she does also this amazing work, or, oh, I saw he did this, so I've
right,
got to
right.
follow him. It's what do you want for yourself internally? We'll find the way through together, but it has to
Mm,
start with you,
right,
because otherwise we become, like AI robots like everybody else, and we don't have any
exactly.
sense of, well, I'll just do whatever you want me to do. And there isn't that sense of authenticity and honoring
Yeah,
who we truly are.
but at the end of the day, we all want to make our own lives, right? I mean, we are given a beautiful life. We all want to figure out, okay, what can I make out of it? And everybody should be given a chance to explore that.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate fun in living. And women mostly, I mean, a lot of women are still denied that right to exist, or to explore their own path or their own way or their own lifestyle. Yeah, and they're too scared also, I mean, because of all the judgments and cultural and religious and a lot of reasons. But yeah, I mean, by the by the time you are like 60 or 70, you will definitely regret if you don't take a chance with your life when you were much younger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I think because nothing nothing bad will happen for voicing your opinion, right? I think a lot of this starts in
exactly.
childhood, that maybe a child is
Mm,
chastised or told off for having their own belief about
mm,
it. But as an adult, there is an expectation that you have your own opinion, that you have your own belief. And
mm,
especially if you're in a relationship with somebody, um,
mm.
I would say it's probably very unlikely that this person will get angry with you for having an opinion
Yeah,
about or sharing, because in that healthy relationship they want to know that you have your own mind, you have your own views and beliefs about things, even if it's different. Because what makes a relationship strong isn't the absence of conflict, but it's the
exactly.
ability to repair when there is a conflict,
Mm.
right? That
I was
they
reading
repair and
something
ruptures.
about
Mm,
princess treatment versus dream girl treatment or something. So
right,
princess treatment is like everything is done for you and they have decided what is the path for you. You just have to follow. And
right.
dream girl means they want to build that life with you, with
Yeah.
your skills. They want your contribution.
Mm,
They see you as this dream girl that they want to build a life together with. So yeah,
yes.
that's what we should aspire in a relationship. I was reading.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, what does it mean to start choosing yourself in this grounded way, right? I suppose a big one is what we've spoken about is making
Mm,
decisions without over justifying, without explaining, without
exactly.
apologizing.
Yeah. Yeah, stop over apologizing and also
Mm,
setting boundaries. You can, without guilt, I think,
yes.
to say no, or I mean, yeah, without apologizing or over explaining, oh, this is
Yeah.
why I can't do it. You don't have to say that. You just say, no, I don't want to do it, that's it.
Mm,
Or
mm,
listening to your body, paying attention to your
yeah.
health,
Yeah.
uh, paying attention to, okay, I'm not feeling good, why am I not feeling good, I am not overreacting,
Mm,
I am feeling this way because of something. Sit with that emotion and analyze it and trust your body and your mind. It is giving you certain signals for a reason.
yeah.
Yeah. So trusting your body, trusting yourself, trusting how you feel, without being judgmental or being like, oh, I'm being oversensitive, over dramatic. If it is painful for you, it is painful. If it is, you are not feeling good, you are not feeling good. So, yeah,
Yeah.
building
Absolutely.
that voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and that trust will come internally, right? Your body
Yeah,
always knows um, what you
exactly.
need. And so it's sometimes we get caught in our head about it, right? We get
Mm,
caught in this kind of emotional overthinking. We become very logical. Well, I shouldn't feel this way, and I don't know why it is. That's okay. There might be something there. Maybe something you've worked
exactly.
through. There might be some remnants of grief. There could be anything there. But trust that your body is trying to find the way, right? Like
Mm,
um, it knows exactly how to heal. And I'm a big
mm,
believer that the mind is the same. It's constantly trying to find a way to resolve things,
mm.
but it's not getting caught up in the logic of it all, right? We
Right,
are at our basics, we're um, we're creatures that feel. We feel very deeply, and we shouldn't override that with needing to justify, apologize, or be, incredibly
mm,
logic. Especially as women, we have that intuition, and we need to honor that.
right.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, pay attention to where you spend your time, energy, money. Like, is it
Mm,
going to unwanted places? Stop that. I think that's one of the best ways to set boundaries and figure out what is important for you and what is not important and where you're wasting it.
yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Because it's leaked energy. Then it's going to
Yeah,
spill out.
yeah,
Right. It's like
right,
a cup that has a hole in it. The water's just going to keep spilling out, and you can't do anything with it. So keep it focused, right? Keep it tight, keep it focused, and aligned with what you want.
right.
And if you struggle to do that, reach out to somebody, get some support through a friend or somebody that you trust, even a professional. That my mind keeps going back to this thing. It's
Mm,
not it's not looping because it's broken. It's looping because it's trying to find a resolution to something. It's trying to
exactly.
find what the answer is. And
Mm,
having somebody to mirror that back or to talk it through can be
mm,
incredibly helpful in that
right,
resolution. Mm,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
Um,
I would also like to add that decentering men, like especially because we all were raised in a patriarchy. Men
mm,
were also raised, we were also raised, and we tend to, at times, think that men are better at something, or somehow unknowingly we sometimes put men on a pedestal, or center our, we tend to overgive, especially when we are in love, or our whole world might revolve around this person. So it's always important to keep in your mind that, okay, men are, this person is just like me, he's not important than me, and my life should not center around this man or any other man. I think that is a very conscious choice we have to keep on taking, because we were all raised by imperfect people in imperfect environments and imperfect systems. So we all have learned something patriarchal. It is there within us. So it's important to constantly evaluate: am I centering myself or some other man? I think that is also very important.
yeah. Um, and going back to what we said earlier about the guilt, is a way of
Mm,
choosing yourself is tolerating that discomfort when you don't meet other people's expectations. Maybe you have an
mm,
internal alarm that says, "Oh, we said no, what's going to happen now?" And the nervous
right.
system starts to brace. Or maybe that person gives a direct or indirect signal. Maybe
Mm,
they look a certain way, they give a look, or they say something that expresses their disappointment. That's okay. That's on them.
mm,
Right? Because
yeah.
there are two options at this point. You go back to how things were,
Mm,
or you can change things knowing that they're unhappy, that's on them because they're expecting something unreasonable of me, or that I'm just choosing something different for myself, and that's okay. So that guilt
yeah.
will come in to try and retrack you back into old beliefs, conditions, and patterns. It's important
Right.
when that guilt comes up, it's to stay with yourself and let yourself know it's something different. It's not bad, it's not worse, it's just different. And actually, this could be
Right.
the gateway to something incredible for myself because I
Mm-hmm.
am being conscious of my energy. I'm being discerned and I'm discerning around my boundaries. I'm doing all these important things for myself. But I think it's it's one of those where we just have to have the conversations, right? We have
Yeah.
an obligation to open up the space and talk about these things.
Right.
And hopefully that will inspire,
Even,
right?
yeah. Let's see. Let's see how this works out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I think it's certainly something that is needed.
Yeah.
It's
I
necessary.
wish I had this when I was young. I mean, that's why I
Yeah,
started, but yeah, let's see.
yeah. And it's nice to see this with a lot of women as well, that we are putting in the structures and things that we needed that we didn't get. right? Like
Exactly.
the, when I was talking about the self-trust, I didn't
Mm,
know what that looked like for me. I was
mm,
one of those girls that was like constantly seeking external validation because I
right.
didn't know what it meant to trust myself.
Mm,
Right. So I built the structure, the frameworks that I use. It was based on things that I needed that I didn't get. And I see it in a
right.
lot of women that I work with. And
Yeah.
then it
We
works out.
always, yeah, we
Yeah.
always do that as a women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they say? Necessity is the
Mother of all invention.
invention. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So this is it. We create what we need and then we offer it to everyone else who needs
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your input in this conversation. And to everybody listening, if anything resonated in this episode with you, do take a moment to reflect on what came up and where you might be overriding yourself without realizing. Even things like projections, when somebody says something or you observe something in somebody else and you don't like it, ask yourself, what about that you don't like? Because there might be something internally that isn't sitting well. And as always, awareness is always the first step. And learning how to change the patterns is where the real work begins, the real graft for us begins. If you'd like support in building your self-trust, understanding yourself more deeply, and learning how to make these decisions from a place of clarity and internal authority, I have a couple of spots available for one-to-one work and also within my wellbeing workshops as well. You're very welcome to explore all of this further, and I'll put the details in the notes below. And if you'd like to connect with Teena and learn more about her work and the woman-to-woman service that she offers, I will leave her details in the notes below, and definitely follow her at Ungaslighted on Instagram. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, follow, and send it to anybody who might need to hear it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next episode.